following program is a special presentation of the Big Ten Network, produced in association with Michigan State University.
Welcome to MSU Today. I'm Jim Peck. Here's what's coming your way right now.
Try not to be scared.
That's what I know of the history of this building. You want to know the ghost history of this building?
Just don't know what's lurking in the shadows back there.
Eating your way through college.
Better food than you would think for college. Like they're friendly environments and kind of like eating at home almost, but like on a bigger scale without mom and dad.
A passionate Spartan saga.
I've tried to build a career that focuses on passions. One of my passions is really helping people to find opportunities that are appropriate for them and opening doors. Another passion of mine is education and making sure, particularly children, have the opportunity to learn and to grow.
Making Michigan movie magic.
Speed! Rolling sound.
Roll camera. Rolling.
Obviously, there is a lot of history here on this campus. And with history, some say there comes, well, ghosts.
This used to be a projection house. This building is probably close to as old as this university. It's never been updated, as you can see. Okay, now, isn't it already spooky?
I like to be surrounded in the history to know that, I'm not the first person to walk through these halls and do what I'm doing, and that's comforting to me.
The interesting thing about this building is that this theater space is unlike most theaters.
You just don't know what's lurking in the shadows back there.
Because there is a stage center, and there is audience seating here, which is the Fairchild, and then over here we have the auditorium. That's what I know of the history of this building. You want to know the ghost history of this building?
My mind plays tricks on me, absolutely.
The people who work here, most of them do not believe in ghosts. So there have been stories and things that have happened, but most of them attribute it to the building's old. And there's radiant heat, and that makes sounds.
All the light switches throughout the building are older so that they're distributed throughout the building. And so if you're walking through at night and everything's turned off, you've got to go hunting for a light switch instead of, things turning on automatically. So that really kind of makes a game of, okay, I'm going to walk through this really darkened hallway and try to get to a light switch as quick as I can.
But there are some stories and one-on-one experiences that people have had in this building that I feel can't be explained.
Time and again, I've heard people say, well, this building is definitely haunted, and it gives me a sense of unease, but no, I have not heard the specific stories of how or why this building is haunted.
There is definitely a truth to the fact that a stagehand died in this building. Oftentimes, people have reported seeing in the projection booth, which when that stagehand died, he was a projectionist, so because this was a projectionist house. And there is reports of a man in overalls being seen up in the projection booth. And then people go up to see who it is who's up there, because there shouldn't be anybody up there, and there's nobody there. There's also reports in the basement of this building, which is spooky in and all of itself because it's so old and it's the basement, that there's a small child, a boy. They say that you can hear him riding a tricycle up and down the hallways down in the basement, and you go to look to see what that sound is or who it is, and there's nobody there.
It can be pretty intimidating. It's a very big building with lots of dark corners.
The Juilliard School of Music at one time performed on this stage. And during the performance, there was whistling. Now, there were house managers here. Everybody in the audience was silent. The music was playing. The whistling was coming from underneath the stage. Juilliard was so upset that they stopped the show and they walked off. So the old stagehands who were here working that show, everybody immediately went to try and find who was whistling. They could find nobody.
There's that whistle.
He saw this ghost radar app, although I'm not thoroughly convinced, but I'm not thoroughly not convinced that it's just random words.
Kind of hold it while we walk around and see if we find anything.
Sounds good.
So how you feeling, Carl?
I'm pretty good. Not as spooked as I thought I was going to be yesterday when I thought about the shoot.
Passage. Said passage. Welcome.
It just freaked me out. Because I was like, what voice is that?
I just said welcome.
Wow. Yeah, that took me by surprise.
And they do hear those kinds of sounds sometimes. Like, if you sit in this stage, in this space, quietly in the dark, you can hear things that are weird. You know, that like little whispering and it's like faint. It's not, you know, you could look around and you know nobody's here with you, but it's as if somebody's having a conversation somewhere